new accessory day. Welcome back to the channel, folks, and in today's episode we've got a new brand on the channel, and that's DNT Optics. You may have seen my unboxing, which you should hopefully be able to tag up there, but this is an analog scope from Day and Night Technologies. It's a long range rifle scope, as can be seen here on the wall terrain, and we're going to take it through its paces, give a little bit of an understanding about the product itself, and as we always do, some cinematic shots around the rifle. And I think I'm going to take it over to the fields behind me because I can't get the distance to really show you the benefit of the optics on this one unless I'm at a bigger distance. So DNT Optics, the one. Let's take a look at some shots.
Introducing the One by DNT Optics, a precision rifle scope engineered for shooters who demand no compromises. Built around a rugged aircraft-grade aluminium main tube, the One delivers superior structural integrity and thermal stability under recoil. With fully multi-coated ED glass, you get maximum light transmission, enhanced contrast, and edge-to-edge clarity, even in low light conditions. The optical system features a 7x zoom ratio, with a magnification range from 7x to 35x, making it versatile enough for close engagements and long-range precision. The fast focus eyepiece and generous eye relief ensure rapid target acquisition and comfort under sustained use. Elevation and windage turrets are precision machined and offer tactile, audible clicks at 0.1 MRAD or 1.4 MOA adjustments, with a zero stop system and locking function for field reliability. The illuminated reticle, etched on the first focal plane, retains scale at any zoom, critical for accurate holdovers and ranging at distance. It's nitrogen purged, O-ring sealed and IPX7 rated, fogproof, waterproof and shockproof. This isn't just a scope, it's the one you've been waiting for.
As I've said already, this DNT Optics rifle is, scope is a long range rifle scope. And that means the magnification is very sweeping. So this is a 7 to 35 by 50, might be wrong, hold on, by 56. So that means that this is going to be for those of you that are probably not air rifle shooters, maybe high powered with an FAC. That's the kind of optic I'd be expecting you to be using for a 50 to much further distance for your accuracy. Now, this scope sits in the mid-range to premium on the analog side of things, if you ask me, and that means because we've had price ranged a lot less than this on the channel already. So the DNT one for me has a lot going for it. So I'm going to give you a bit of a pros and cons as to what I've been able to ascertain the time I've had this in hand. Full disclosure, this has come directly from DNT. I've had a number of conversations with them in person. I'm free to say whatever I want, however I feel about this particular product, and they welcome any pros and cons as a whole. So there you go. Now, things I like about this. The eye relief is pretty open, so 2 inches, and this is a first focal plane. So when we talk about first focal plane previously, when you zoom in the reticle, the MRAD that this rifle is moves with you. So that's your etching zooms in. We've talked about it before, whereas if you've got a second focal plane, it stays the same whether you're at full magnification or not. Now, this is a TOR optical mil dot. So what that means is within the reticle, and I'm going to put it on screen for you, you see mil dots also for your windage. Really useful for long range shooting, or even if you're shooting a sub 12 in any wind at any distance. So when we're talking about 50 to 100 yards, that's going to be useful. You can see where it's going and you can find your own point shot after shot. I really like these turrets, super chunky and audible. I don't know if this is going to pick it up, but you get a good decent click from those. We'll have a close up on that to get those clicks. What you do have is these are ready to go. They're not lift and twist, they are finger turrets, twist straight off the bat. You have your objective lens focus here, sorry. So your focus is on the left. You have two dials, so you've got your focus and you've got your illumination. Now, the illumination of the reticle, it illuminates the entirety of the reticle, which I like. It's not what everyone likes. Some people like the center dot, but I have found that if you leave the battery in there and you leave it on, some scopes that will turn off after time. This one, the battery has run out because I've left it in there and on. So, point to note. With your elevation and with a lot of higher budget scopes, you don't have a negative movement. So where you normally on some of the more affordable scopes that I've seen, you have a negative and a positive, you can move it. So when you're first setting this up and you're zeroing in, you can't move it from your 0 to negative, which means you can't move it down if you're hitting low. What you would need to do is, for example, raise your mounts higher to enable that negative so that you're then dialed in for your zeroing. Point to note. So you've got no negative movement on the elevation turret. You do have 0 stops, so you can take out these caps, reset your 0 once you're zeroed in, so that it points to 0, so you know your mil dots that you are clicking if you are changing your distance or re-zeroing. In the box, you do get extensive instructions, which is really good because from a number of scopes you get nothing, so it does explain to you everything you would need for adjusting your 0 stop, for example, and all the functionality of the scope itself. You do get a cloth as usual, and you have your extended sun shield here, so if you need to reduce the lighting to get rid of that glare a little bit for shooting, and an Allen wrench for your adjustment of the turrets. I think a real big positive for me is this optical end, this end of the glass, I don't know what you want to call it. This side of it, it's really wide lens. So you get a really clear picture because it is large, and that for me is stunning. You do have your focus is from 25 yards, so like I say, this is going to be no good for shorter range shooting, and it goes up to 500 and infinity on the left hand side. Now, I'm not going to show you rifle accuracy through this, you know, it's a really great glass. What we're going to do is I'm going to take it over the field behind the house on another tripod, and we can show you what it looks like through the reticle and show you some of the long distance vision through the lens itself. But for me, I've had this for 3 weeks now, and it's just really tactile to use, and the function of everything on it for me so far is really good, and you get what you pay for with these DNT optics. Let's take it out to the field, let's have a look at some of the reticle zoom and give you a conclusion. It's like a good spot to be able to show you a bit of the functionality. Yeah, some cattle over there. Let's take a look. Okay, so I've come out in the field. Beautiful views, beautiful day. We've got some cattle about 500 yards away. I just want to show you the range of this scope so you can see the clarity through it and show you a bit of the first focal plane functionality. Come and take a look. Okay, so let me just come right out. So this is at 7 mag. You can see the cows are pretty far away from where we are, and we've got that focused at 500 yards. So let's go to full magnification. So again, that's 35 mag. And we can see pretty much everything that cattle is doing over there. Fighting mostly. What a stunning piece of glass. Obviously, it's a bit of wind today, it's just a bit wibbly, but fantastic piece of kit. Yeah, let me just move the camera back so you can see the level of distance we're talking. I don't know if I can refocus this on the cattle, but yeah, it's pretty far away. Fantastic. So what I want to do is really try and show you this reticle with the TOR points. So as you can see, you've got your regular reticle mil dots, and then you've got these TOR. So when you zoom in on the first focal plane, you can see the elevation points going out for windage also. You can see it's super windy today. There's about a 5 to 10 mile an hour left to right. But using those dots, you'll see where your projectiles will be hitting, and you can adjust perfectly at these levels of distance. So, fantastic. So we're here for a conclusion of the DNT Optics, the one. Matrix vibes going on there with that name. So as we've said already, this is a really great scope. What I want to do is give you my opinion of pros and cons of this as it comes to you for the price that you'd buy it from their website. Now, let's start with the pros. A really well packaged, really well made premium product. It comes with this throw lever on here, which not all of these scopes do. I would expect that for the price, but you get really great glass and really tactile functionality on these turrets and side movement. I love the glass in this. Some say it's Japanese, some say it isn't, but at the end of the day, you get a really crystal clear picture with that etched reticle on there. For me, the biggest wow factor is when you open that box and you see these huge turrets. That for me is fantastic. Cons that I feel are cons, so don't let it take away what you might want to do if you went to a shop or a show and got in hand with these. Just things that I would call out if I wanted to speak to somebody about this product. Now, it doesn't come with any mounts in the box, whereas for the price, I'd probably expect that. You do need to be aware that this is a 34mm tube, so it's a larger mount needed, so you may need to pick up some more if you were to purchase some. Like I said before, only really because of the distance that I shoot, I do like a negative spin just for quick zeroing for me for these videos. Now, that might for a lot of you not be a problem, but for me, I think it needs to be mentioned that it's only a positive adjustment, so you would then need to readjust your mounts to get extra height if you needed it from that negative standpoint. I also didn't really like the fact that the battery has run out in the very short amount of time I've had it, and that's, yes, me not turning it off, but I would like that to be solved in a future iteration of this scope. Is, you know, if it's left on, turn it off internally. But yeah, this is a company to watch. DNT have got some really great digital products. We may be able to speak about those in the future, but the one for me is their kind of flagship analog scope, and it really does what it says on the tin. It is a fantastically well built, hefty piece of kit. And you will not be disappointed if you purchase this. I like that the reticle is fully illuminated when it's on, and the first focal plane TOR, those lines in the windage section, also super useful for long distance, long range shooters. You know, if you're getting over 100, 200, 500 yards with FAC, this is one that you would do well to have a look at. Anyway, I'm going to call it a day there, but thank you very much for watching. This is, again, the DNT Optics, the one. All that's left to say is shoot safe, stay safe, catch you on the next one. Cheers, bye.